Hola, me llamo Señor Adams. Hoy vamos a hablar sobre el imperfecto. First, we'll look at the conjugations for the imperfect tense. Let's start with AR verbs. We've got yo hablaba, tú hablabas, usted, él, ella hablaba, nosotros hablábamos, vosotros hablabais, ustedes, ellos, ellas hablaban. So these are the endings. And we have to note that there's an accent right here on the A for nosotros hablábamos. And this is, of course, the most fun verb to say. Hablaba. Okay, let's look at the ER verbs. For ER, we've got the verb comer, to eat, comía, comías, comía, comíamos, comíais, comían. So all of them have accents. Okay? And another thing to note is right here, yo and usted, él, ella have the same conjugation. Okay, they're both comía. So now we're going to have to indicate if it's yo or if it's usted or él or ella. Okay, so there's 4 possibilities, so you have to keep an eye out for that. Okay, next we have vivir, to live. We've got yo vivía, tú vivías, usted, él, ella vivía, nosotros vivíamos, vosotros vivíais, ustedes, ellos, ellas vivían. And in all of these, there's accents, but we see, again, that the ER and IR are the same. So these 2 endings are the same. So that's easy. Okay. There are only 3 irregular verbs in the imperfect. Okay. First one is ir, to go. We've got iba, ibas, iba, íbamos, ibais, iban, and we see the nosotros has an accent on the I, but that's it for accents. Okay, let's look at ser, to be. For ser, we've got yo era, tú eras, usted, él, ella era, nosotros éramos, vosotros erais, ustedes, ellos, ellas eran. And again, we've got an accent on the E for nosotros éramos. Okay, let's look at ver, to see. This one's a little different. Here we've got yo veía, tú veías, usted, él, ella veía, nosotros veíamos, vosotros veíais, ustedes, ellos, ellas veían. So all forms have accents in this one. Okay. All right. Imperfect of I is había. Okay. And if you remember, the word I means there is or there are. So había means there were or there used to be. Let's look at an example. Generalmente no había muchos participantes en el campeonato. Generally, there weren't as many participants in the championship. So instead of saying there were, it's there weren't. So because we're using no as the negative. Okay, let's look at some uses of the imperfect. El uso del imperfecto. Use the imperfect tense to talk about actions that happened regularly. In English, we'd often say used to or would to express this idea. Let's look at some examples. Todos los meses mi escuela organizaba una carrera. Every month, my school used to organize a race. This is a little bit different from preterite because we're not saying yesterday we organized a race. It's repeated. It's every month, right? So that's one of our indicators, a repeated action in the past. Okay, another example. Nuestro equipo nunca perdía. Our team would never lose, or never would lose. So, again, it's repeated action. In the past. Okay. Stem changing verbs do not have a stem change in the imperfect. Example, quería participar en el campeonato, pero no me sentía bien. I used to want to participate in the championship, but I would never feel well. So querer, that verb querer, is a stem change verb, and sentirse is also a stem change verb, but they don't stem change in the imperfect, so we don't have to worry about stem changes in the imperfect. You have learned to use the imperfect to describe something that used to take place regularly. You also use the imperfect to describe people, places, and situations in the past. For example, hacía mucho calor. El estadio estaba lleno. Los espectadores gritaban. Which means it was very hot. The stadium was full. The spectators were screaming. Okay, so it's describing the scene. Another use is talk about a past action that was continuous or kept happening. For example, los atletas se entrenaban en el gimnasio. The athletes were training in the gym. So this is considered continuous, or also we can say it's ongoing. We can also use the imperfect to describe date, time, age, and weather. For example, era el 5 de noviembre. Eran las 6 de la mañana, pero ya hacía calor. It was November 5th. It was 6 o'clock in the morning, but it was hot. So we can see this as a description of the date, the time, and weather. Nunca, never. Siempre, always. A veces, sometimes. De niño or niña, as a child. De pequeño or pequeña, when you were little. Now, days, los viernes o los sábados, domingos, etc. On Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, etc. Los fines de semana, on the weekends. Cada año, mes, semana, día, every year, month, week, or day, for example. Okay, está bien. I hope you're starting to understand the imperfect a little bit better. Adios.